guys, I'm Jessie, and today I have kind of a different video for you. We're not really going to be talking about any specific books or any tropes, and it's not a book tag. Today, I kind of wanted to talk to you about some more of the, I guess, marketing, social media side of what I do, because everyone seems to really like my videos that I do where I talk about like the behind the scenes and, you know, income generation and, you know, just anything that has to do with like marketing. So I decided to do a video where I would talk about different ways that you can earn money with your BookTube channel. Now, disclaimer. This is not gonna work for everybody, I guess. Little disclaimer, don't go into this expecting to make like a buku bank. Don't go into this expecting to like make tons of money and be YouTube famous, and like if that is your goal, then like BookTube is probably not for you for a couple different reasons. For one, I will say BookTube, while it seems big, is such a small niche here on YouTube as a whole. It is one of the smaller like areas, but it is highly niche. So that can actually work in your favor as far as making money with smaller channels. But don't expect to like come in and just make hundreds and thousands of dollars like overnight. Like it's a lot of work to start generating any kind of income from any kind of YouTube channel, specifically from BookTube. But just know that it's a lot of work. And, you know, have normal expectations. Don't have super high expectations, because if you do have overly high expectations, then you will probably get burnt out and you will probably like just give up, because I have definitely seen that before. People that are like, I want to do something and like make lots of money at it, and then like 2 months later they're not millionaires and they're like, this is a lot of work. And I'm like, well, yeah, it's a lot of work. So just go in with good expectations. To start out, I will give you my background as to why I am qualified to talk to you about this. Almost 6 years ago, I started a mom blog. I have thecoffeemom.net. It is my website, and I work with brands. I have an Instagram that is associated with it, where I also work with brands. I have gone to multiple Disney events and worked with, you know, Fortune 500 brands and done sponsorships all over, and it's been a wonderful experience, but it's a lot of work. And then I decided to start this BookTube channel, and I took all the knowledge that I had gained over the years of working with brands and things like that, and I'm bringing it to this channel. And one of the key things to kind of keep in mind and remember is go into this thinking it like a business, because you are not going to generate income unless you think of this in some sort of business mindset. Like, it is fun, it is a hobby, and that is fine. But if you want to bring that up to where it is an income generating hobby, then you kind of want to keep like the business side of it in the back of your mind. And what I mean by that is being consistent with your uploads, making sure that, you know, your quality is good. And that doesn't mean having like a DSLR and fancy lighting. That means just shooting in a quiet place where you can't hear a bunch of road noise or, you know, kids screaming. Oops. And just make sure it looks like something you would want to watch. And, you know, if it doesn't, then that's fine. Like, we all start somewhere. Gosh, go back and watch my first video. They were not good. They were poorly edited. Like, they were just terrible. And honestly, editing still isn't my strong point. Let's be real. But just go into it treating it like a business. And consistency is key. If you are going to upload 3 times a week like I do, upload 3 times a week. If you are going to upload 1 time a week, upload that 1 time a week. Like, be consistent with it. That will help you grow, and that will help you in the future generate your income. Now, a couple different ways that you can make income is one of those is affiliate income, and that is something that I do. If you look in the description box of any of my videos, you will see Amazon affiliate links to pretty much every single book I talk about. And it is notated that these are affiliate links. That is important. Please disclose. If you are using affiliate links, disclose. These are affiliate links. I will receive a small commission at no extra cost to you if you make a purchase through these links. It's an FTC regulation. You gotta do it. Same with sponsorships. Always disclose. Always, always, always disclose. It's important. You can get sued, even the small guys. Trust me. I have seen it. I have been around the social media world. So, back to how to actually make money with it though. Affiliate links. If you're talking about a book, link it in your description bar to bookshop.org, Book Depository, Amazon, whichever one you want to use those links. They might not get you a lot of money, but they will over time generate you, small amounts of income. And they can generate much, much more. If people are clicking and buying your stuff, then you're gonna make a little bit of money off of it for really no work. The most popular way to make money, I guess, on YouTube, BookTube specifically, is gonna be through your AdSense revenue. It's not a lot, let's be real, especially for smaller channels, because I'm kind of gearing this towards like smaller channels, my size, smaller, a little bit bigger, whatever. Your AdSense revenue is not going to be a lot. For one, BookTube itself does not have a super high CPM. Certain video types have higher CPMs, like your financial videos have probably the highest CPM, and a CPM is a cost per million. And what that means is for like all of your views, what percentage you get of the money for your views. And it is different across niches. So keep that in mind. BookTube does not have the highest ROI when it comes to ad revenue, but it is beneficial. Like every once in a while, I'll get $100 in my account and I'll be like, woo, got some AdSense money. Like it doesn't happen all the time. And with AdSense, you don't get paid until you reach that $100 threshold. Once you reach that $100 threshold, it will automatically deposit into whatever account that you've set up for that to be deposited into. So it could take you 6 months. It could take you a year. It doesn't matter. As soon as it hits $100, that is when you get your AdSense check. To actually start it, YouTube a while back changed their regulations. You have to have 1,000 followers and I believe 4,000 watch hours. And it sounds like a lot and it is really stressful to get there, I feel like. But once you get there, it's such a good feeling. And the best way to do that is just like I said, be consistent with your uploads. And one of my other videos, I think it was my BookTube Real Talk tag, I talk a little bit about SEO and searchability, and your videos that are searchable and have high SEO value are going to get more views and get a longer watch time. And that is really what you want to see when you're trying to reach that watch time and subscriber goal. Another way, and probably the most lucrative way to make money on YouTube, and this is probably where I'm going to spend the most amount of time, is sponsorships. I know they can be annoying, right? But I think we're at the point as a society where we see these sponsorships and we're just like, okay, whatever. Like we don't really think about it and we're fine with it. But I mean, sponsorships are the way to make the most money. Trust me on that one. I've done it. I've been there. I've done that. And it is the way to make the most money on YouTube, Instagram, a blog, whatever your social media may be. Now, don't wait for companies to approach you. I feel like that is one of the biggest mistakes, especially in smaller content creators, is they wait for companies to approach them. And that is not the right way to go. I don't want you to think that just because you have 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, whatever small following, that you cannot reach out to the brands that you want to work with and send them a pitch idea, because you can. And I have, and it works. And you're going to get a lot of no's, a lot of no's, but sometimes you're going to get a yes. And the reason for that is, for one, small channels typically have a higher engagement rate. And what I mean by that is once you get super large, a smaller percentage of your audience actually watches, comments, likes, whatever, all of your videos. Smaller channels tend to have those people that are subscribed to them watching and commenting more frequently than on larger channels. It just is, and it is across all social media, Instagram, Facebook, you name it. The massive channels typically have a smaller engagement rate than larger. Larger channels typically have a smaller engagement rate than smaller channels. And you can use that in your pitch. And if you want to craft a well done pitch to a brand, you're gonna need to do a little bit of research on that brand, and you need to tell them what you are like bringing to the table. Because they don't want an email or a DM. Please don't just DM them. please find their email addresses. They're out there, I promise. And you send an email. Don't just say, hey, I have this YouTube channel. I would love to work with you. That's going to get you right in the trash. What you want to say instead is, hi, I love your product or your app or whatever it is because XYZ. Tell them what you like about it, and then tell them a little bit about you. Don't make this about you though. And then you want to tell them what you can do for them. I want to work with you because I think my audience would like this product because, or I have shown your product or whatever it is in a video before and it's done really well and people have asked about it, and then link that video that you've already talked about them in, or that Instagram post or something along those lines. Like, sweeten the deal. Make them think that they need you. Show them what you can do for them, because that's what it is. This is a business exchange, right? They want exposure or reach, or they want more followers, or they want to make more sales. You need to tell them how you're going to get that for them. And I know you're back here like, man, I don't know how to do that. Google it. There are so many free resources. And if you're interested in like pitching and learning that side, one resource that I absolutely love is, his name is Justin, and he has a YouTube channel called Creator Wizard. And I've taken his course before. I've worked with him multiple times. He is fantastic and his information is fantastic. He does have a paid course, but he also has a ton of free information that you can get from him and from his videos about pitching and working with brands and mistakes not to make and, you know, things along those lines. So if you're interested in that, then I would highly recommend checking him out, because he's just fantastic. And when it comes to pitching, I also want you to keep in mind that while BookTube is small, it is niche. And especially if you're sci-fi fantasy, it is super niche. And that means that your audience truly loves what you are talking about, because you are talking to a very specific group of people who like sci-fi and fantasy. So if you can find a product that really aligns with your brand and you're like, I know my followers will want this because it aligns with like people that like sci-fi and fantasy books, reach out to that brand and tell them that, because that is what they want. It's not necessarily that they need a huge following. They need a following that is primed to purchase or primed to be interested in whatever it is. And if it's like fantasy sci-fi related and you're a fantasy sci-fi book channel, that is a perfect fit, if that makes sense. You can also, you know, do a Patreon, which is something that, you know, if you have a super engaged audience, that is a great idea. Offer them extra, you know, videos or extra content or whatever it may be that you can offer. Patreon is a great way to crowdsource your audience. Give them something and then you get paid in return. Like, it is probably one of the most popular ways that creators are making money today. There's also YouTube memberships, which I have not looked much into. I did look into it a little bit, but the percentage taken by YouTube is larger than the percentage taken by Patreon, because they do take a percentage of every person's like pledge or whatever it is to you. But if you feel like you can keep up with it, then definitely a Patreon is a great way to make some extra money by giving back to your audience just something extra, because a lot of times they'll do it just because they want to support you. And it's really a cool feeling. But make sure you're actually adding value and benefit and giving to your Patreons. I actually paused mine because I just didn't have the time anymore, and I knew that I was not giving benefit, so I didn't want to take people's money. So I'm like, I'm gonna pause this until I know I have the time and the resources to actually do what I want to do and what I've promised to do, because I'm not gonna do that to people. But if you do have that time, then a Patreon is a great idea. Another way is merch. You can always make merch. There are so many merch sites out there. There's Printful, which is like print on demand, and I think like Teespring and Redbubble. And there are so many different ways that you can like make your own merch and sell it. And that is another way that a lot of big YouTubers make income. And if you can like narrow it down to your niche, then that is fantastic. Like I said, there are so many ways to make money on BookTube. And I feel like a lot of people aren't talking about it because it's like, it's a hobby, which yes, it is a hobby and it's a fun hobby and you should love it. But that doesn't mean that if you want to go into it and make it a fun hobby where you also make some income, like, that's not a bad thing, right? It's not taboo. Like, we should be openly talking about the way we make our income on social media, because for one, it's not as easy as most people, I guess, tend to think it is. Like, it's a lot of work. A lot of work. Like, trust me, it's a lot of work. But also, talking about it openly helps others, you know, for one, get what they're worth and know, you know, that they can do it as well. And it's not some like taboo thing like, oh my God, this YouTuber is doing a sponsorship. Like, no one cares. Like, get the bag, make your money. Like, that is great. I am happy for everybody that is out here making amazing sponsorships. But just go into it knowing that it's not easy, knowing you're going to get rejected a lot, and just, you know, keep a business mindset to it if this is something you want to do for some extra income. All right, well, this was definitely not like my normal videos. Hopefully you enjoyed it though. I know it was kind of rambly and all over the place. If you have any more questions about making money on, I guess, the internet with social media, YouTube, Instagram, whatever it may be, leave those below. I'd be glad to talk to you, because this is something I do not only in my day job, but also with this, and it's a whole thing. I'm all social media all the time, apparently, because that is like my day job and my hobby and my side hustle, or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, thank you guys for hanging out with me on this not normal Jessie BookTube video, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.